Commissioner Vestager also mentioned cases where the EU Competition Authority and where something has been done about situations where competition will be threatened. But in the case of Ireland, the European Competition Authority unconditionally cleared the purchase of ABP Slaney foods and basically led to a situation where we now have 28.5% of the cattle kill and upwards of 40% of the sheep kill in Ireland is now all being done by ABP Slaney. Yet, on the other side of the coin, if producers decide to get together, they are limited to a maximum of 15% of the market. So it seems that that isn't really very fair. I'm just wondering, why was that merger cleared? And was it because you're judging it on competition all around the EU and not just in Ireland? And if that's the case, that doesn't really work. Thank you.
First, a few things on merger control, because what we did in the Irish case was, of course, in depth to study the market. And it is a very national market for obvious reasons. There are quite strict limits to how far you can have your animals slaughtered. After this in-depth investigation, what we found that there was alternatives to the new merged entity also in the Irish market. And this is what we do in every process. We do not define the market. We look at what are the options for the people in the market. Do farmers have anyone else to turn to? If they have no one to turn to, well, that's the end of the market. And this is why we very often see that markets here, they are national. They're not just by definition European-wide, because there are limits as to where you can sell and where you can buy. Part of the analysis that we do when we have a merger case is exactly what will happen to prices. And if prices go up, can you, as a consumer here, as a farmer, can you go somewhere else? And if you can go nowhere else, well, then we have to take action to make sure that competition is restored, even when it's sort of put down because of the merger. That is our task. And that is what we do. When it comes to looking at a market as the Irish, when it comes to slaughterhouses, well, then the case is that we work on a first-come, first-served basis. Because when a merger has been approved with or without a divestiture or a remedy or commitment, well, then the market has changed. So the next merger, well, they have to take this as a given. Not just as a domino effect that we sort of have a starting point and then everything can happen. We have a starting point, then something happens, then the next one coming in will have to relate to that market that has then been created. For the obvious reasons, because obviously we would very, very soon end to exactly the situation as depicted, that everyone is just bought up and you have a de facto monopoly. And the merger rules are exactly there, are put in place to prevent not only monopolies, but also duopolies and the thought that can set prices to the detriment of the consumers here, the farmers.